Hello, St. Patrick's and friends of St. Patrick's. We're getting so close to Christmas. Our family is feeling the joy of it. You know, the lights are all up, music is going. I'm even getting excited about what's for Christmas breakfast, all that kind of stuff that goes with it, menu planning and whatever. But one of the things I wanted to share with you guys too is over the next couple of weeks is answering some basic questions for us around church and why we gather and today why we give. I'm starting way back in some of my devotional life with reading in Genesis. I'm reviewing some of this stuff, and just yesterday I was reading about in the life of Noah when he steps off of the boat. And again, he was, for those of you who remember, he's on the boat with a bunch of these animals, his wife and his kids and his in-laws. And he's on for a while, and he's got a limited amount of animals he has to take care of. Well, one of the first things he does, maybe the first thing arguably he does when he steps off the boat almost a year later or whatever, is that he makes an altar to the Lord and he sacrifices animals. The very animals he put on the boat. Now, I guess I would assume that some of them have, multiplied, but there's still a scarcity, right, of animals upon the earth. Like the animals that are dependent to populate the earth over the next however many centuries are the ones that are on this boat. And so he has a scarce number that he can choose from. And it says that he sacrifices some. Not just one or two or from one kind, but several. It's out of scarcity that we find Noah doing an act, this is what sacrifice is, doing an act of deep trust in God that he would provide, that when he makes this sacrifice and builds an altar to the Lord, he is not just verbally saying, I trust you, God, but actually trusting in God, demonstrating it by an act of worship. That's what sacrifice is. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm terrible at this. And I know I'm not talking about sacrificing animals. We don't do that, but we do give of our time and our energy and certainly our financial resources. And I know you guys are faithful to this, and I'm not criticizing your giving at all, but challenging, encouraging you to do more, to keep going, even when things feel scarce. And actually, it is in the scarcity that God is really challenging us. It is in the scarcity that our faith actually blooms and blossoms. Remember when Jesus was sitting at the temple with so many others and watching people give into the offering plate, and he points out the woman who has very little, and he says, out of her poverty, she gives so much more. It's in those scarce moments that people of faith stand out, and that God can really do something in our own hearts. And I'm feeling it myself because we feel the pinch just like you guys do, and God challenged me to give when there's scarcity and when there's an opportunity, we feel the conviction. So I want you to know I'm walking down the same path too. I'm not telling you to do something I'm not also doing, but I found that fascinating, amazing that Noah would do this as soon as he gets off the boat and gives. But it's an act of faith, and a faith, of course, that God rewards. I feel it. I feel it when I give out of my scarcity that God is pleased with me, and that's what I want, and that's what I want for you. I want you to feel the pleasure and joy of God because it's such a great strength in our lives. And I hope you're feeling it in this Christmas, Advent, Christmas season, the happy holidays that come along with all the things and all the trappings of our world. But next week I want to talk a little bit about why we come to church, but this is why we give. Anyway. You'll notice a change. Speaking of what's coming up, we are having our Christmas Eve service this year on Wednesday the 24th at 11 a.m. And it's meant to be a family service. So I know that a lot of you guys have plans later on in the evening. I hope you'll take advantage of. Invite your friends. Take advantage of the earlier service. And we hope to see you there. If you have any questions, give us a call. Know we're praying for you as a church staff, and we hope you're doing well. God bless, and we'll see you Sunday.